Hey, welcome to my channel where I talk about my dolls, and that's literally it. And in this video, I'm going to be sharing all my American Girl Josefina mold dolls, which is a sort of continuation to a series I started a couple weeks ago with the classic mold dolls, which, as we all know, were released in 1986. And then the second video I did was the Addie mold dolls released in 1993. But I'm going to skip the third mold, which was the Asia mold, which was released in 1995, because there was only one. And so the next doll that came out, or the next mold that came out, was Josefina in 1997. I'm sure you all know this, but it'd be weird if I didn't talk about it. And when I was setting up for the video, I realized that I have more than half the Josefina dolls that were released, because if you exclude the boho chic limited edition doll that was like one of a kind, I wouldn't count a one of a kind doll, there are 36 Josefina mold dolls, and I have 14. Which is funny, like, because I think that Josefina really creeps up on you, because when I first started, it was one of my favorite molds. And if I had better luck with the Josefina dolls, I think it probably would remain one of my favorite Josefina, or one of my favorite molds. And that's good that I'm starting with the actual Josefina doll, who was released about a month or two ago, because she exhibits the luck I have with the Josefina mold. Like, her eyes are the worst to like exemplify what I go through. So I can only consider it like iguana eyes. It's like, where are you looking, Josefina? That's kind of what I go through with every Josefina mold doll. Well, not every one of them. I've had some really good ones, and when I get a good one, I'm like, whew, what a relief. And I shouldn't feel that way. And I think there is something in the shape of the mold. It must be, because why else would she, be looking, two different ways at once? So that's my big beef with Josefina, and why she's dropped so far down in my preference of molds. And this is that's probably like why it took me so long to have an actual Josefina doll, because I only got her with this re-release, and I don't even have her on my radar for getting a Pleasant Company doll, even though I'm like currently obsessed with the Pleasant Company dolls. And so this one is complete because she came with everything in that re-release that happened. And before anybody comes for me in the comments, yes, she's holding her handbag, because the strap that's supposed to go around her waistband, it's done such a weird angle that it doesn't sit right. So I tried before I started recording, just so you know. I tried to hold it in her hand, nothing was right. So she's just holding onto it with an elastic. And this is how I will display my Josefina. And it's not just the eyes on this Josefina. When I did an unboxing of my collection, I said that I had bad luck with them, and she was no exception. She actually is an exception, because I think she's one of the worst Josefina mold dolls I've ever received. Not just because of her eyes. Her hair is in pretty rough shape. Well, it's very soft. It's very nice quality hair. But the braid, I'm going to have to undo it eventually, even though I hate getting rid of like factory stuff like hairdos. So yeah, this is my, for now, somewhat disappointing Josefina doll, but I still love her, and I don't want to sound like I don't love any of my dolls, but I'm just pointing out the little flaws that she has before someone else does. It's better if it comes from me. So let me move on to the next doll in my Josefina mold collection. I can't believe I've never really, I guess I've never really had a reason to talk about her, because she's such a one-off doll. She's not part of any collection. And she's Truly Me 91. Nope, Truly Me 90. And I've named her Jasper after the quartz, because blue is the rarest color of Jasper. And I thought, oh, she's like, feels like a rare gem in my collection, because she stands out so much. And I don't feel like she's a very popular doll. I really like her. I like the way the blue, everything blue on her pops, and I guess I wear a lot of blue too, so maybe I relate to her. And I've got her in one of my favorite displays, which is the local bean. And one day I'll do a proper like deep dive into that playset, because it has so many amazing details, and it comes with so many things that it needs like some kind of spotlight. So with her on display in it, I think that might be giving me a little bias toward liking her so much. And I haven't changed much about her. She's one of the few dolls, maybe the only Truly Me doll I have in her original outfit. She just obviously got the apron on that comes with the local bean, which is a coffee shop. And she's got the tights from one of the Halloween costumes. So either she's going to have to be a Halloween doll, or she's going to be cold when that season comes along, because I'm going to miss having these fishnets on her. I wish there were more fishnets, and then I wouldn't have to steal it from a Halloween costume. That's all I have to say about her. Yeah, underrated doll, and I really like her. Oh, and I don't even remember when I got her. I don't remember if I got her from Indigo. I don't remember if I ordered her online, but she's actually not in bad shape. Like as far as her eyes go, she's got a good glance. I don't have to like flick her eyes into place so that she's looking forward. So maybe that's also part of the reason I like her so much. Who should I share next? Like I said, I have 14. I'll go with Kira. I haven't, she's the same thing where I've only shown her in my doll doll room tour video. I just haven't had a reason. She sits up in Joss's world, even though she's her own girl of the year. It's just that I don't have a lot from her collection. I think the only thing I have is what you see before you. It's just her meat outfit, and she has two like accessory packs. One is like her outdoor accessories, and I think these are just her meat accessories, but I gave her sunglasses to someone else. So she's got the Truly Me sunglasses from one of the Truly Me packs. And one thing I have to say about Kira, she is a durable girl because she sits up on a top shelf. And even though I put some double-sided tape on the bottom of her shoes to help her stay up there because she's, up really high and kind of leaning forward, because when the dolls are up high, I like them to be kind of looking down so you can have a good view of them. And this girl falls so much, like even with the tape. And when she starts falling, she falls for like days at a time. And she falls onto a linoleum floor, like a fake, like fake hardwood linoleum floor. And she has held up so well, her nose. I keep waiting for the day that she comes with some like shiny buff mark on her nose. But yeah, she has held up, this poor girl. And you know what? All my dolls are making a liar out of me because, I mean, I just flicked her eye into place, but she also has a nice glance for Josefina mold dolls. So maybe it's just a couple bad seeds who have really soured this mold for me because, yeah, she's wonderful. Her hair comes back into place after I knock her down. Like, she's she's a good doll, and I know she's not very popular, but when I bought her, I remember her because she was at one of my local Indigos, and when the I am a Plum Plus member, which it provides you a discount. It's kind of like AG Rewards, but for Indigo when we scary American Girl. And last summer, all of a sudden, they were always excluded from the 10% off. But last summer, they started introducing. It was like just a random fluke that I noticed they were giving 10% off. So I started buying a lot more of the dolls. And I walked into my local Indigo, and one of my local Indigos, and there were like 30 of them up on the shelf. So that's why I think she wasn't very popular. But, I really like this doll. And I know she gets compared to Julie a lot, which isn't very fair because, there are lots of dolls that look alike. And I don't really think that she's one of the worst for being a look-alike. So I think I've said enough about Kira. Yeah, I wish I had more of her clothes to make it look like I love her, but this is all I've got. And who will I show next? You know what? Talking about her look-alike, let's just talk about Julie. Oh, and I'm really excited to show Julie because even though I've shared her a lot on my channel before, like I've even given her like a fashion show video, like a whole like half-hour video about all her, like trying on all her clothes. I didn't have this outfit until it was too late to show it. So finally, I have Julie as she is meant to be, and I just put this outfit on her tonight, her original meet, obviously. So I'm really excited because I finally got to see how, like, this is the real Julie, and that this is Be Forever Julie, but she's wearing her original meet outfit, and that Be Forever outfit is just it's like such an imposter. And now that I have her, not just because I've had it for about a month, I wanted to, she got a re-release recently, like, or sorry, not a re-release, she got a mini release on American Girl. And so when I did the unboxing of that, I wanted to start with her in this outfit, but it didn't arrive in time. So now I can finally show her the way she's meant to look. And I do have her, obviously, you can probably see her meat accessories. And the only bad thing I have to say, not that it's bad, is that the bag it's worn out a little bit. I bought it, everything I bought secondhand because she's Be Forever. But as you can see, hopefully, I don't know if you can make it out from there, but there's a lot of like wear and tear on the faux suede of her purse. But the way I tell myself it's okay is because, it's from the 1970s, so it's going to be moth-eaten. And so it just makes it seem a little bit more authentic. The things we tell ourselves to feel better about our dolls. But doesn't she look, I'm sorry, I had her in that Be Forever outfit for way too long. I received her in a Be Forever and I never had this meet. So now it's just like really exciting that I have this. Oh, and let me just put her by. I'm not going to stand her next to Kira, but I see As far as any dolls go, like I don't see them being that similar. Like I wanted them both in my collection, and I'm happy to have them both. Next, I'm going to show a doll I've shown a couple times. I've put her into one of my historical collections. Her name, this is Grace, and I didn't change her name or anything. I just kind of changed where she belongs because when I look at this doll, even in her original form, she just looks so 80s with her, with the kind of bang. She's almost got like that waterfall poofy bang that that people had a lot in the 80s. And so I bought her complete secondhand, but I haven't used any of her actual outfit pieces because I immediately put her in this outfit because I want her to be part of Courtney's world. And I never looked back. But when she arrived, one thing that was funny is she was, I feel like bubble wrap was put around her head, I guess, to protect her. But I think one of her eyes wasn't closed properly when the bubble wrap got put around her. So when she arrived, one of her lashes were all crunched up, and I was like, oh, it looks terrible. Luckily, she's on the top shelf. And I was doing everything I could to, try to straighten them out, but it just wasn't going. And then one day I looked up at her and her eyelashes were back to like factory. These are some like freaky plastic lashes. But so like I'm not deluded. Like they really are back to normal. It's not just me, right? So yeah, that's a funny story about Grace and how she came to be one of Courtney's best friends. Because none of my dolls really, aside from Claudie, in my collection are the same as the character who would be in the story. They're like my own version of the characters. And speaking of that, here's another girl of the year I put into another dolls collection. I made her a historical doll. This is Leah, and I have made her one of, from the 90s twins, she's one of Isabel's best friends. So she's got on Isabel's pajamas, and this is Leah's hairband because she has so much hair that I had to think of something to hold it back. And if you look under here, she's got on a white t-shirt from a Maple Leaf outfit I got because I cannot stand when the cloth body is showing. Which reminds me, I didn't say this in the beginning of the video when I was showing Josefina herself, is Josefina is probably my least favorite of the the original 6, because her entire wardrobe shows off so much of her cloth body, and there's no choker or anything. Even her necklaces, they all like dangle. So I think the doll is pretty. I didn't comment on her enough, and her clothes are pretty too. Like I do like the look of her collection. I just don't like how it looks on the doll. So I don't think I would ever really, that's part of the reason I would never really want to expand my Josefina collection. So anyway, yeah, this is Leah. Her name is still Leah, even though she's not a girl of the year. I bought her in the secondary market, nude. I didn't need, because I wasn't, she's another one whose outfits show off too much of her cloth body. So she was never on my radar to have to have her collection in my collection. And next I'll go to a doll I've shown quite a few times too. Her name is Darshini. She is a Truly Me 109, but I've put the wig from Truly Me 80 on her. And so she might just look at first glance like Truly Me 80 with eyelashes and gray eyes. And I don't know if I have much to say about her because I've already talked about her so much in the past. She's obviously got Covey's yoga outfit on and Lila's meat shoes. And I just have her in my collection as one of my BFF displays. And her background, she has a Telugu name because Telugu is her first language. And I guess she lives in America now because these are mostly American girls. And do I have anything else to say about her this time? No. I guess I've shared all there is to share about Joshina. Her name means one who blesses, if that matters. So I can move on to the next doll that I've also shown a lot of times. I don't know if I put these in any particular order that I can like bounce conversations off, or if it's just a fluke. But this is Truly Me 80, and she's part of Julie's world. So this wig was originally on this doll, but then I wanted her to look more 1970s, and I've talked about this doll so much. So here's a refresher. I wanted her to be a rival character for Julie because I didn't have Ivy for the longest time, Julie's best friend. So instead of making some kind of best friend, she already has a best friend. I made her a character who is just as good as her, as she is at everything, like pinball, basketball, whatever's going on in Julie's story that I don't know that much about. I just, glean it from her collection. So yeah, I think that's the things, right? Basketball, pinball. You'd probably know better than I would. So yeah, they kind of don't get along, but in like I respect you. I just am jealous. I want to be the best, and they're kind of rivaling. They're used to being the best. So I got the wig off of Etsy, and other than that, she's wearing one of Julie's outfits and some of Sage's pieces, like accessories, the earrings and the bag. And you know what? I don't think I've ever shown her without the sunglasses. Let's see what her Josefina eyes are like. Oh, I think she's one of the ones who disappointed me. And I bought her in store, so that means this is probably the best one I could get. I don't know if you're gonna be able to tell. She actually looks really pretty on the monitor without her glasses on. So maybe some days I should. Let's see. Maybe some days I should just have the sunglasses up in her hair. Poor Blossom. Did I say her name in the beginning? Blossom? Blossom Daniels? Let me just pop her eye in place. Nope, hers doesn't even flick in place. Anyway, so you know what? Let me take off her glasses for a bit. Sunglasses. So that people can see her. And she can see you right back. All right, who should I go with next? Oh, okay. An actual historical doll. Not a doll I just placed from Truly Me into historical. This is Rebecca. And she's wearing my favorite, not just my favorite Rebecca outfit, but one of my favorite American Girl outfits of all. And I just put, I kind of gave this to another doll to wear in the holiday season during Hanukkah. But because it's my favorite outfit and I didn't get to see it on the doll very long, I was like, this is a perfect excuse to redress Rebecca. And it's really cute because I think it would be cute on anyone, but I think because I already have, like, in my collector heart, my collector brain, who owns the outfit. Oh, she's so cute. So this is Be Forever Rebecca. I don't have her original outfit. I like the colors of the Be Forever outfit, even if they're not very historically accurate or not as, period correct as the first outfit is. And I have her on display in from Samantha's Be Forever collection, Tyson's Ice Cream Parlor. And actually, you know what? I'm gonna put her up there like this after to see how I feel about the colors. But usually it's the purple that I think suits the display very well. And sorry, I should keep showing you, but I'm new to seeing her like this too. Anyway, so that's pretty much all I have to say about Rebecca. I don't have a lot of her collection, and I don't feel like I need it because I like her Be Forever outfit. And now that I have this, even though I gave it to someone else. All right. You know what? Let me give. This is funny. So in my 1970s in Julie's world, there are 3 dolls of the Josefina mold. This is Evette, and I bought her to be Julie's cousin, and I have a CYO doll who is her brother. So they're still the name Evette Peters, and because I think in Evette's world, they talk about her being like she's a thrift shopper, so she likes the 70s. So I thought, okay, in my world, it'll suit her because even I think her meat outfit is a little bit 70s inspired, but not as inspired as this pinball outfit of Julie's. And I did consider putting her another out for the video, but this is her like quintessential signature outfit. This is my Evette Peters meat outfit. And in my collection, she sits in, I guess it's Evette's bedroom, but it would pretty much be in the real world, or a real collector would have it be Julie's bedroom. It's got the egg chair and a lot of her bedroom and bathroom accessories, whatever I can fit in there, because my displays are a little bit limited for size. And I'm sure most of you have seen her close up, but here she is with her cute freckles and her curly hair and the 8-ball. I use some double-sided tape and an elastic to keep it up. And she's got on the mood ring, which if you put your finger over it, it does change colors. I just don't know if it's going to do it right now. I don't even know what color it's supposed to turn, but mood rings, I had those in the 80s. So I know that your mood is, I guess, if you're hot, then you're in one mood. And if it's cold out, you're in a different mood. That's all it really is. And she's got the Be Forever bag right here, the tie-dye bag. And I think that's pretty much it for Evette. Julie's cousin. And you know what? Okay, I've this doll. I had to change her outfit a little bit because I realized this is the doll I have shown the most, like in the most videos. She was in my very first video. She's the very first doll I ever showed. And because she wears Maple Leaf clothes, anytime I have a Maple Leaf video, she's in it, which means I showed her very, very recently. And her name, I haven't told the rest of her story. Her name is Cara Roberts. And a funny story about the last name is when I was a kid, my last name was Roberts. But when I was 15, I moved in with my aunt and I found out my name wasn't really Roberts because I was born out of wedlock. So the name that I had carried my entire life, as far as I remembered, because I guess it was probably around 3 when they changed my name, not legally, but changed my name. I was, I had always had this name. So, after I moved in with my aunt, she made sure that I got I guess my mom's maiden name back. And so that's why I've given her that name, because I do like to give a little nod to as many memories as I can with my dolls. And since she's made to be, I bought her to be a Canadian character, Canadian coded. Um, I was like, okay, she's gonna be Canadian. She's gonna represent me in my dolls. And so she got my last name, my original last name. It's not my last name anymore, as I've probably hopefully made clear. And I don't remember where Cara came from. I think I just looked at her and I saw Cara, but I like it. And um, another funny thing about my name growing up being Roberts, last name being Roberts, is that was Barbie's last name. And I think I've heard that her middle name is Maleficent. Not Maleficent. I think it's an M name though, and my middle name starts with an M. So that was the way that people growing up would always call me Barbie Boy, because it was like I had the same initials as Barbie, the same last name, and I was not crazy about the nickname because I wasn't a Barbie collector in the 80s. I preferred other things over Barbie. And one day I let them know that it bothered me that they called me Barbie Boy. So they never, like it stuck forever. Like I was never able to shake it. But anyway, she's now Cara Roberts, not Barbie Roberts. And I do have the Barbie American Girl on pre-order. So I've faced my trauma from childhood. Oh, and she is Truly Me 125. I don't know if I've forgotten to say the Truly Me's. I think I remember them all. I just got sidetracked by her background story. And next I can go into a Girl of the Year, who gets to be a Girl of the Year because I didn't put her in any other world. And obviously this is Layla, this year's girl. And the one of the so she and Gavi came out the same year, and to me that makes them BFFs forever. And what she's wearing is okay. I think she's wearing her sunglasses because she's got a little bit of that iguana eye going on. I don't know if it's gonna pick up. It probably won't look as bad on camera as it does in person. But believe me, it's bothered me enough that she has to wear her sunglasses. Even though I wanted her to wear them on her head originally, that was my original vision. When I got her in person, because here's the other funny thing about Layla. So as a Canadian collector, we were able to order our dolls from Indigo for a few years. And then because they were not going to carry them anymore, they stopped. I don't know when they stopped. They never got Claudie's second wave of outfits, and they never got the 90s twins. So we in Canada were convinced that we weren't going to get Layla either. And because of her colors, like the orange and the pink, orange is my favorite color, and I love it with pink, especially like a bright pink like fuchsia. And so I was like, I need this Girl of the Year, because my favorite Girl of the Year is Govey, and because they came out the same year, I had this whole like vision in my head. So I was determined to get her. So I bought her from the website the second she went, from the American Girl website, as soon as she went live, with like everything that I wanted. So like her dog, her riding outfit, because that's what she's wearing, her riding outfit with some of her meat accessories, and her meat hairstyle, because I do like the meat hairstyle. And I don't know how much later it was, because we just assumed that Indigo wasn't going to get her. And as I mentioned earlier, Indigo we were getting 10% off with that Plum Plus membership. Anyway, maybe like a week, 2 weeks after I received her, because a little bit of, time travel to get to Canada, she was on the Indigo website. And then a week after that, she was in all my local stores. So not only was I disappointed with her iguana eyes, I was like, I could have saved 10%. I could have, not even 10%, because the currency exchange from, at the time, 115 US, we were paying 140 Canadian, which is quite a bit cheaper than the currency exchange from 115. I don't know if I made that clear. So I would have saved so much money if I just waited. But like I said, we really thought we weren't going to get any more of the current dolls. And the next doll, I have two more. So the next doll is a Truly Me, and I've shown her a couple times lately, but this poor girl is going to have an identity crisis soon. Her actual name is Anushka. Oops, she's got Cara's hair. Her name is Anushka. I have her displayed in Cubby's backstage because part of Cubby's backstage, there's this like picture of this doll who is, by the way, Truly Me 82. And then later there was a Truly Me 108 was released, which just looks like her, but with the painted on eyelashes. So this doll is there's a picture of her on the back of Cubby's backstage, dressed in the Diwali celebration outfit. So now in my story, in my brain, it's her backstage, and that's why there's a picture of her instead of a picture of Cubby. So I've recently shown when I did my unboxing of the historical re-release, I had her dress up in Josefina's outfit. So yeah, her name's Anushka because she's obviously an Indian character in my story. So then she was like posing for Josefina, modeling for Josefina's outfit. And then in my last Maple Leaf unboxing or redressing, I had her dress up in the indigenous outfit. So it's just like this poor girl. I thought maybe she was gonna change, but anyway, it's all this is to say that she's still Anushka, and her hair is always going to be forward because this outfit, these are the things that came with the Cubby's backstage, shows so much of her cloth body that you see the like shoulder joints, which is, I hate that so much. But forward, like she has so much amazing hair that she looks fine. But I don't think this will always be her outfit. It's just, one day I'll figure out something nicer to put her in. And I think that's all I have to say about Anushka, because I've shown her in a couple of videos, just not as herself, except for my doll room tour. So I have one last doll, and I just got her today. I just picked her up. And sorry, give me 1 second. I had her like crunched back here to fit all these dolls. As you can already see probably from there, this is Truly Me 127. I'm trying to squeeze her through. So I bought her, or not bought her, I didn't buy her. What I did was, you wouldn't believe it, she's from a trade. So I traded a Claudie doll for her, but not one of my Claudies. Somebody local, well, not really locally. I've recently talked about how I picked up some dolls when I was driving my partner about, what did I say it was in the conversion, 56 miles. So this seller also had a Claudie for sale, and somebody locally who I purchased from quite a bit recently, and she's been very generous, giving me like, sneaking in like free stuff, and I get home and I'm like, I think you gave me this by accident. But anyway, so she wanted, I had claimed this Claudie doll, and then she claimed it at like the same time. The seller said, oh no, he got it first. But I was like, okay, you know what? I've been so greedy. Let me just, not only can you take her first, I'll pick her up for you. And so she was like, okay, if you pick her up, I'll trade my 127. And I already had planned to get her to put in my historical. I just got her, so I haven't had a chance to do it yet. I haven't had a chance to set her up. So when I did the trade earlier today, like I said, I got home and there was all this stuff sneaked in there again. So she's just a very nice person. That's all I want to say. And I'll probably, she's going to go into the 90s world as well. So I'll have that video, I don't know, in a few weeks at some point. I have to show her the 90s dolls because they have their own. There are a lot of 90s dolls at this point, let me put it that way. Not just the ones you see in front of you. Her hair got messy. So yeah, as I was saying, this is now a series. I think that's all I had to say about 127. Sorry if that was abrupt. As I said, I had to skip the Truly Me 4 mold. And I don't have enough dolls of every mold to have every mold be in its own video. So I think at the end, I'll combine whenever it's possible. And then maybe if I feel like it, or if people seem to care about how much I blab about my dolls, then I will do like a leftovers kind of thing at the end. And so this is always a lot of fun coming on here and talking about my dolls. And I hope you enjoyed some of the ones I showed in this video. And yeah, I'll see you soon in the next one.